Hey, hey, this is Christy Matthews. Hope you're having a great day. It's been a few days since I've been online. It's good to be back. Feels a little weird with all the changes that have gone on. So you may have just seen me come online and just would have nothing there. I was just trying out a new streaming service called StreamYard. And what it does is it allows you to share your screen and so forth, but so does Facebook now. And I will show you how to do that, but not on today's video. Hey, Sarah, good to see you. So I'm going to go ahead and log out of this other screen here so that we can get going. So, feels a little weird. Things are out of kilter. It's kind of like, as I told a friend today, it's kind of like jet lag. You know, it's this, here you're going really fast and all of a sudden, you know, you're all on, now you're at a stop. So anyway, without further ado, it's good to be back. And I've got some not so new stuff to talk about, but it's old stuff that I think is really important and still working here in 2019. Hi, Sarah. Okay, so without further ado, there's 7 things that I'm going to go over here today. And I think they're really important, and they are working for me too, especially going on cross platforms. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So you want to go ahead and post your content over and over again within the first 24 hours, especially if you're on fast-moving platforms like Twitter. Now, that was something that I was reminded of, and when I do this, and I say when I do this because I still have to put it into a routine as well. It's okay to repeat your content in the first 24 hours, like 3 times in the day, like that's every 8 hours or so, on Twitter especially because it's such a fast-moving platform. And you can go ahead and repost your content over and over again anyway, just because of how the platforms are working in terms of them allowing you or your people who follow you to see, for them to see your material. It's an engagement thing. So let me just I just listened to what I said. On Twitter, 3 times a day. On Facebook, you don't want to repeat the same content on Facebook 3 times a day. You can go ahead and spread that out and maybe repeat it a couple of days from now. And definitely share it in other groups that you belong to or other pages that you have access to. Okay, number 2 is engagement pods. Now, I'm not too familiar with this, but when I learned about this, I'm going, this is probably not going to work very well, and it's turning out that it's not. On Instagram, there are these things called engagement pods where you can get into group chats, for instance, and Instagram is saying, no, they don't like that at all. So what's better to do is to send to your email list and let your list know that you've put a new YouTube video up or you've got some new content on your Instagram page. Wherever you want that audience to go, you're going to have better engagement than trying to get into these engagement pots, or pods, I should say. It's just, those are just not a good thing. They're not giving you the engagement that you need. Number 3, take your text-based content for LinkedIn, okay? And on LinkedIn, rather than put up your entire post, what's recommended is to list 2 or 3 paragraphs, very short sentences, okay? And create a link that says more here so that your link can go to your content. You're going to get more engagement that way than putting your entire lengthy text-based post on LinkedIn. Now, as we always say, this is step number 4, okay? Follow the leaders. The leaders like Gary Vee, that's Gary Vaynerchuk, or Grant Cardone. These guys are the behemoths in the industry, and they drive content all the time. They're very prolific with their content creation. Grant Cardone, for instance, will go over an hour, maybe 2 hours on a live. And then what he does is that he has his content team break down the lives and create them into, say, 60-second videos that are platform specific, so that they have been formatted to Instagram, for instance, and they repurpose their material for the platforms that they're going to post on. Of course, they've got a team of people that are doing this for them, but you can take some of these techniques that are working for, I mean, the leaders in our industry, and observe what they're doing and apply what you can. Take those techniques within your abilities. You know, if you're a solopreneur and doing everything on your own, you've got to go ahead and take the things that are working and that you can do and apply them to your own business. If you have the resources to where you can have a content team to help you out, then you can go ahead and delegate these tasks to them. But there is a lot to be gained by following the leaders and doing what they're doing. Number 5, your social sites. Sharing content several times within the 24 hours, like I just mentioned about posting on LinkedIn. But here's the other thing. When you go ahead and let's take LinkedIn, for example, and you put up 2-3 sentences or make them into paragraphs, and you're creating a link for them to go off of the platform to go to your blog post, for instance. So what you do is you take that same blog post that was not put up on that page and to start with, and then come back to the social sites such as Facebook or LinkedIn like a week later and put the entire post up. You're going to get much more engagement that way. And from what I understand with how the algorithms work, is once you've gotten the engagement to start with on that material, they will allow more people to see your material, even though you're taking them off of the platform. Kind of weird, huh? All right, but that's just what I understand. So the results are more engagement, and it may just be because over time your materials had time to push through the platform. For instance, like Facebook, you know, it might take several days before you see somebody else's post. You know, and I've often heard people, "Hi, Alan, good to see you." I've often heard people say, "Hey, I just put that up on my page, but I didn't see it in my news feed until maybe 3-4 days later." And it just goes to show how the algorithms are working. This is basics, okay? But many of us don't take a look at our analytics. And this is tip number 6, by the way. Number 6, okay? So you want to go ahead and take a look at your analytics. Maybe you're using Social Blade or Rankswell, or you can go right into Facebook analytics and take a look and see what content you're getting greater results in, okay? And because that's what what your audience wants to hear more of. You know, when I'm going ahead and talking about keto stuff on my keto page, analytics are high, of course, because people want to know about keto, right? Here on this page, if I'm talking about keto, not so much, but people want to hear about how am I going to make money on social media? How is this thing going to work for me? My analytics are higher there. So take a look at your analytics and see what people are replying and responding to or engaging with you on, and give more of that type of content. Okay, and number 7, more short sentences above the fold. So if you think about Facebook, if you go ahead and you put out a long text type of thing, Facebook will allow that to show up. But what is better for you is if you could just put a couple little snippets, a couple little short sentences to where it says more, and then it actually takes them into your post, the entire post. You're going to get more engagement. It's kind of weird how you got to tweak these algorithms on social media networks, but they work. They really do work, folks. And I'm going to throw in a bonus tip. This is number 8. And it is important at this point in time here in 2019 that you do look at other social networks and incorporate them into your daily routine one way or another. Video is king, okay? And The social networks want more video, but I have found going on to Twitter, for instance, my sales have increased, my engagement has increased because I am on Twitter pumping out content there, bringing them back to Facebook, Facebook over to Twitter, and getting the two, and I'm incorporating LinkedIn to do that now. So I just suggest that if you have the ability to do so and the time to do so, because I realize, you know, most of us who I'm speaking with right now are solopreneurs, and there's a lot of things that need to take place to make this happen for you. So pick the good ones, do the good ones, be consistent with them, and then try to add on down the road. So I hope that you got some good tips from today's video, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.